My business started growing to a point where by having a 9 to 5, it was actually becoming a detriment to my ability to grow my business. I had my emergency fund in place. I had my health insurance plan in place. I had my retirement accounts in place. All the things that I needed to have done were done. And so it was a matter of saying, okay, now this is the time.
And how does it feel now, 3-4 months into it?
I think the only regret I have is not doing it sooner. My name is Janice Torres Rodriguez. I am creator of Yo Quiero Dinero, a personal finance podcast for the modern Latina. I always saw money as this thing that you needed to work really, really hard for. It wasn't something that was going to fall in your lap. You were going to have to go to school. You were going to have to get maybe multiple degrees. By the time I was 27, I had a master's degree. I had a very fulfilling career as an engineer, but I was still finding myself to be in a place where I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing with money. I was earning a lot of it, but I kept finding myself in the cycle of debt, in credit card debt, not really making progress with investing and saving. And I found myself just really questioning, okay, like I've done all of these things. Why is it that I still feel stuck? As I started to really understand that there was something missing with that education piece, it's when I started that self-education process, listening to podcasts, reading books, and really understanding that this whole thing about managing money is not something that most of us are taught. For me, food was something that I've always loved. I thought about maybe quitting my job, going to culinary school, opening a restaurant, but I realized I actually wanted freedom. I actually wanted the ability to work from anywhere, and none of those things would align with that goal. So then I discovered the online world of food blogging. Ironically enough, about 6 months after I started my food blog, I got laid off. And so I had an opportunity to spend a couple of months really pretending like, what would it be like if I turned this into a career? And I really dived into teaching myself all types of things when it comes to blogging, search engine optimization, social media marketing, food photography, all of these things. That for me was the spark that lit the flame of all the side hustles that I've been able to create since then. 8 years later, that same food blog was the way that I was actually able to quit my 9 to 5 this year, because I turned it from a hobby into a 6-figure business. When I realized that I had just tapped into now the ability to monetize this, I was hooked at that point. The first major milestone I hit was in 2016, where I made about $2,300 for that year. So the following year, I made $10,000. The year after that, I made $26,000. The year after that, I made $46,000. And last year, I actually made $100,000 with side hustles. I have about 10 different income streams that I've used. And the largest is definitely my blog, my food blog, and my digital courses and downloads. So those are representing about 50% of that pie. And then the rest of it is made up from things like freelance writing, speaking engagements, virtual workshops, affiliate marketing, and even investing in the stock market. I consider that another income stream because I don't want to work forever, even though I love what I do. And so it's important as a business owner for me to set aside money so that I can get to a place at some point where I'm not, having to work forever. Just being able to one day wake up and say, you know what, that thing that I wanted to do, I don't feel like doing it today, and nobody's going to tell me otherwise because I don't have anybody to answer to or report to. I think it's super powerful. And the thing with entrepreneurship is that it's really opened up my eyes to our ability to earn way more money than we can in a lot of corporate jobs, right? When it comes to a 9 to 5, you are restricted by your ability to grow, based on the office politics, based on the company budget. There's so many different things that can impact your ability to earn more. But as an entrepreneur, honestly, like your earning potential is limitless. And I just want people to understand that even if they don't want to own a business and be a full-time entrepreneur, you can continue to earn more money outside of your 9 to 5 just by using some of the skills that you already have, that you've grown throughout your career, and monetizing them in something that belongs only to you and not to anybody else. For me, I try to talk through the lens of a first-gen Latina, the first to go to college, the first to get a master's degree, the first to make six figures, the first to own the business. Those are all very unique things that I can't rely on my parents or my grandparents to teach me about because they haven't been able to achieve those things. We are earning more than past generations. We have more access to disposable income, but we're not being equipped with the tools and the education that we need to actually make all of that progress, something that's sustainable, something that's generational. From a financial perspective, I want to have $1.5 million invested in a diversified stock portfolio that is stock heavy. I also do plan on leaving the United States. So my husband and I, we've talked about once we reach our early retirement goal, we want to leave to live somewhere where the cost of living is less and where universal healthcare is something that we have access to, especially as we age. For me, the worst case scenario is having to go back to a 9-to-5. So, will I never get a job again? No, that's very unlikely. But I feel like too many of us let that fear keep us from pursuing something that we know we want to do, but we are just too scared of taking that step. Definitely a fan of, making your plan, saving money, investing money, like getting yourself to a place where you feel like you have a cash cushion that can allow you to pursue these things. You never know what you can accomplish if you just give yourself the permission to do it. But there's nothing I think that is more powerful than regret. And I really don't intend on letting fear stop me from doing anything.